Okay, I guess I'm live. I've got earbuds on, by the way, so I don't know if anybody will hear this. Um, it doesn't matter because this is just a random rant after. Oh, here comes the cat. There's Alfredo Montero, who I try and discourage from crawling across my computer desk anytime I have. But here he is, the infamous Alfredo Montero. So here I am broadcasting from my bunker in Jacksonville, Florida. Hopefully anybody, well, no one's here yet, but it doesn't matter. I can do my little monologue at the beginning. Uh, I would like to shout out a few people. If you want to watch some humorous content and the hypocrisy of the left, I would suggest that you visit Zeducation. That's Zed Education. And he's on YouTube. You know, he does his YouTube thing. He hasn't been banned yet. He does a lot of memes, and it's for the most part pretty funny. I always watch it all the way through, so um, it's pretty cool. I like it. I would also encourage you to watch some of my older clips. You know, I haven't been doing much flying lately, but um, you know, a couple that stand out to mind that I thought were pretty cool was the Center Pro with the one with the birds and whatever. And I was trying to do it on the screen, but it didn't work out so well. Hey, Jim. Oh, does it? That's because it's not very good video quality, I guess. So you can hear me or whatever. I'm using the earbuds with the microphone built in, so I don't know how it's working. And since there's nobody else talking in my ear, I can't tell. So where are you at, Jim? Jim's groaning. You probably brought it up before, but I'm sorry, I don't remember. But hey, Bob, how are you, Bob? So can you hear me, Bob? I don't know. I don't know how I don't have a direct link. I'm doing this through Wi-Fi, so I don't know how it works. Ah, you're in Canada, are you? Okay, man. Trudeau gotta go, dude. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I don't even know how it works, man. These little earbuds that stick in my ears, and apparently they have a microphone on me. Hey, Eric, how are you? Jim's joining. Uh, Michael, good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. I'm just ranting. I don't know. I've been watching stuff on YouTube. The left. Okay, first of all, will say this is that I think anybody that flies a drone is all about liberty and freedom. You know, liberty and freedom means that you don't do stupid shit like trying to fly around the airport to catch a jet flying off. Who's going to do that? But only idiots. Idiots that don't know of the possible ramifications they could cause. But I mean, it to me it makes common sense. And first of all, before I ever got a drone, I flew in small planes. I flew in small planes all the time. And usually did it every weekend. And the crazy thing is that we were always worried about hitting birds before we'd mow through a drone. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I guess if it gets sucked into the jet engine, that could be bad. But, and I get the rules being made. And you only enforce the rules when somebody's an idiot. The problem is there's a lot of idiots out there. And not in the drone community necessarily. I think most of the drone community is want to do the rules. You know, I've always been conscious of that. I always knew I was supposed to be. I saw people doing videos and they were within a 5 mile radius of the airport. And they're like, oh, well, I got clearance. Well, yeah, so you got clearance. Okay, good for you. They got their 107 or whatever. But again, I flew in small planes. And drones weren't as prevalent back then. But for the most part, that was the last thing I worried about. I remember when I got my first GPS drone. And I sent it, it was just under 1,000 feet. And then some guy, I posted it on Facebook, as I call it, but I posted it on Facebook. And what I basically did was went straight up, and I didn't really realize how high I was going at the time. But, you know, what is it? How many meters? I was just under 1,000 meters. And some guy's got to pipe up and say, you could have killed somebody with your stupid drone, your stupid toy. He said toy. He called it a toy. Which, you know, you can call it a toy. But when I did this, it was like at midnight. Not necessarily on a highway, holiday, but it was at midnight. And I'm kind of out in the country a little bit. And you could hear a mosquito fart. I'm pretty sure. Now, I never heard a mosquito fart, so I'm not sure. But you could damn sure hear a plane if it was coming. And like I said, I went straight up, hit that mark, and my bird was set to meters, so bottom line is I was no danger to aviation, if you will. But they had all kinds of freaking lights on it and shit. And not only that, I was quite close to a rather large antenna TV antenna or radio antenna, doesn't matter. That bastard had to be like 1,500 feet. So this is where those that want control over all of your life, just all they want to do is exercise more control because they can't stand you being in control of anything. They want to control everything that you do. And this is what has got them so stirred up about Elon Musk buying Twitter. I love it. And I'm telling you, you know, I consider myself more of a libertarian than a Republican, but I do believe in smaller government and where people have to take responsibility for their own lives. Hello, Allie. How are you? So, I mean, like, Allie's here. She's on the other side of the pond. They have they have social medicine and all that. And I get the idea of that, I guess. But any attempt at socialized medicine here in the States has failed miserably. And I'm not sure if it's because in Europe or whatever, people just got used to it. I'm not sure. Because of the high taxation. The thing is what one has to realize is that nothing is free. The money has to come from somewhere. I'm trying to see. Okay. I'm missing the conversation here. Eric and Michael are talking about. So, Michael, have you tried to get back into FPV again? Gibraltar. All right, so Allie, a salute to your look. And I'm not knocking the UK. I love the UK. They've been some of our best allies since World War One, I guess, maybe even before. They got a little pissy after we declared independence from them, but it wasn't the UK back then. It wasn't the United. I'm like, Allie, well, actually, I turned 63 in the first part of this month. And so I've seen a lot of what has come and gone. You know what I mean? Hey, Green Frog, how are you, brother? So, I don't know. It's weird being an older person that has seen this play out over the years. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to get too political. I'm not trying to, but I just think it's hilarious how the left, because see the left, what they call the left, seems to have gotten so unhinged. There's a hill they want to die on, and they're going to die on that hill. I hope so. So everybody look, people talk crap about the Republicans and whatever and call them Nazis and fascists and all this. But it's the Democrats that are trying to control every aspect of your life. And that's what drives me crazy because nobody sees that. So be a libertarian. It's all about liberty and freedom. Okay. And then let the votes fall where they may. Because see, so many of the things, like here in the States, Allie, I don't know, I'm sure you have left wingers over there too. But there's people like AOC, I don't know. She's some, I don't know, 35 something politician in New York. That she's not unfortunate looking. I don't know, you know. But then she thinks all the Republican guys want to have sex with her. I mean, you know, come on, how conceited is that? It's ridiculous. Clip to that, by the way. So anyway, I want to do some black flies for too long. Yeah, Eric, the cancel culture is out there big time. And that's why I think it's so cool that Elon Musk ponied up a bunch of money to buy Twitter. You know, I haven't been on Twitter much. I actually said some things that I thought might get me banned just to see if it would happen. It didn't. Yeah. Oh, you're home. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So I have food now, currently. Ah. I'm eating a French fry. Let's see, what is it? Wendy's. Trying not to pull it. Yeah, it's so funny because I was watching videos of these Twitter people, fact checkers, if you will, that were whining and crying. Oh no, Elon. These were the people that did the fact checking and that could censor you. And I guarantee you, not a single one of them was over 30. If there were any over 30, they weren't much older. Let's just put it that way. Hey, Drone Bum, how are you, brother? So I don't know. I scheduled this originally for, YouTube gave it to me automatic, and I just decided to do it. Go ahead and hit the button. Hit the button, Harry. So anyway, it just drives me crazy. Not supposed to be a political channel. Other people have told me I shouldn't do political shit on this channel. But I just want to ask you, you know, is your life better than it was 2 years ago or not? That's just a question you have to ask yourself. Now, see, like Allie lives in the UK, where their gas prices have always been crazy high. And they don't even do gallons, they do liters or whatever, which is less than a gallon. But they don't have far to drive either. You know, everything's so close to each other. You know, I know Eric, I mean, when he goes on his jobs, he's got a ways to drive. So it's not so cut and dry as that. Yeah, well, again, Allie, you're a different case. I mean, you just don't fit the narrative of the average person. I know you've been through a lot of trials and tribulations with your medical crap. Yeah, Canada is crazy, man. And you know that dictator you have, Justin Trudeau, that guy. And first of all, what I mean, the Keystone pipeline was that all about gas, or it was also petroleum too? Why in the hell Canada has $8 a gallon gasoline when they have a lot of gasoline that they were ready to sell to the United States? Or was that just all natural gas? I don't know. So, I mean, that's disturbing too. I mean, I remember some of my relatives, they actually had vehicles that would run, I guess it was propane. Could have been natural gas. Sorry, I don't mean to eat and all. Hey, Rigor Morgataria, and that's cool, Michael, the Mavic Mini FD. Well, cool. The thing is, you gotta go somewhere to fly, Michael, and that to unleash its potential. Because you might get a flight or two flying out of your backyard, but in the end, you can only pull off. You got to go somewhere and actually use it to its full potential. So I don't know. You know, it's funny because I'm old. I feel old. I turned 63 not the 1st of April, April the 9th. Write that on your calendar. So you can wish me a happy birthday at some point a year from now. Not quite a year, but anyway. So I've seen a lot of shit over the years. I really have. You know, people try and talk about racism and stuff like that. I've seen it change. I've been around. I've been around for a few years. And it's funny, it's weird because I don't know, over the last 20 years, because I will not deny it. When I was a kid, a young kid, I was always a little more weary of people of color than I was of a white person. Even though, when I look back in retrospect, that I got screwed over just as many times. I don't know, it's pretty equal about people that screwed you over, but what was it, because you just remember their skin color? I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I was kind of racist, but that was years ago. And I remember over the years, it's like, all right, this dude's my brother. He's cool. He's a member of the human race, and he's all right. He's pretty cool. And so it's just this is what has always pissed me off about the whole critical race theory thing that people try and preach to you, is that Okay, I'm white. Well, I'm not really white. I'm kind of, I don't know. I've called myself Heinz 57 forever because I have Indian blood in me, English blood in me, I have German blood in me, and there's probably a black person back there in the woodpile too. Doesn't matter. That's what it's not your skin color. It's how you react to day-to-day situations and who you are. Your skin color does not define who you are. It's just like Martin Luther King said. It's about your content and character, not the color of your skin. So you can't immediately assume, because you have lighter skin, you're a racist, and because you have black skin, well, you can call them a racist too, because there's a lot of black cats out there that got a loud voice, like Joy Reid, talking about the biggest racist of all, the crap she says. So I hate that. I hate that people, and it's usually the left, that inject the race card in it. Or they'll inject the sexist card in there too. They are all about division. And Democrats are supposed to be the party of the working people. But now it seems like they're more of the elite people. Like, I would suggest, okay, I want to do this. I want to shout out a couple channels. Oh, by the way, check out Rumble, rumble.com. And it's like YouTube, but it's not censored. Now, I've never been shut down on YouTube, whatever. I guess I wasn't controversial enough. I don't know, or else nobody paid attention. Because let's see, let's see, I'm not seeing how many people are here. Doesn't matter. But Alfred, there's Alfred. Alfred's getting antsy. Thing is, they don't censor. And to me, I mean, and that's why I think it's great that Elon bought Twitter, is because they would shut down one opinion versus another. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole vaccine stuff and all that, but I will say this. I haven't had a vaccine, and I'm still alive. Why is that? Why is that? And I know that there are some people that were forced to take the vaccine, but didn't want to. So I mean, it's just like the flu shot. It's not much different. I've never had a flu shot either, and I'm sure I wouldn't want to get the flu. But the bottom line is that should be your choice. And if everybody else wants to get the vaccine and protect themselves against you, then that's fine too. I don't have a problem with that. Go on, knock your socks out. I don't I don't have a problem with you wearing a mask either. Wear a mask all you want. That's cool. No one told you can't wear a mask. Just don't demand that I wear one. I would tell you if you told me, well, you need to be wearing a mask. I said, well, why don't you put another mask on your face You can wear the mask I would be wearing on your face. Because I ain't doing it. It's bullshit. You're screwing with your natural immunity. Everybody has natural immunity. The more you weaken it, I'm not doing any vaccine. No, I'm not doing that at all. I'm just saying you should have the right to decide what's going into your body. That's all. And like I said, I mean, even before all this COVID crap came out, I wasn't doing flu vaccines either. I wasn't doing those. Yeah, I know, Allie. I know, and that's ridiculous. Even outside, Allie, do you have to wear a mask outside, or is it just inside stores? I actually did the mask when they were asking for it here in Florida. I would wear, mask in Walmart or whatever. Walmart or convenience store. As long as I saw a sign mask required, I would do it. It's okay, you know. I know. Hey, Brian B. Mac. I hear you. I remember pre-COVID, if you walked into a bank with a mask on your face, good chance you would get tackled by somebody. Not now. We're in what would you call that? I need a good term, Brian. You need to come up with it. Somehow you get a green light. Just think of all the guys that the NSA, FBI, or whatever wanted criminals that could be picked up on facial recognition. And now they have a mask on. And everybody sees it as perfectly normal. Oh, yeah, we got a mask on. That makes sense. Either you have a horrible immune system or you're one of these nut jobs on the left that think there's dangerous pathogens floating around everywhere in the air. I don't know. Alfred. Being a prick, you need to lay down. Hey, Mark Rigger. It's great to see you, brother. I don't know. I just had the urge to go on. I actually had several other areas I wanted to cover, but I don't know what they are now. You know what drives me crazy, Jim, is these people that'll be out in the middle of the street. There's nobody around them and they wear a freaking mask. I can kind of get it if you're out mowing the yard and you have a dusty yard and put on a mask. But you're out in the free air and sunshine, man. Come on, man. Isn't that what about being out in the sunshine is all about? So can y'all see Alfred good? Hey, Johnny, how are you? I don't know how quick this. I'm just running my mouth, Johnny. But see, you're in Louisiana, you folks were raised up right over there too, It's these weirdos out there that I don't know. It's funny, Johnny, because I try and listen to the other side, but then I just feel stupid after I do so. Later, B Mac. Thanks for stopping in. And hey, Johnny. I was actually going to talk about some other stuff, and it just kept going political. So I just want to say congrats to Elon Musk. I think it was funny. The libs going crazy. Oh, I wanted to say this. So there was video that came out after Elon bought Twitter, and there were the fact checkers that these are guys fact checking the tweets and deciding who to cancel or delete their tweet or block them or lock them or whatever. And they were all kids. I don't think any of them were more than 30 years old. Now, I'll tell you about my political thing. And that is when it might have been 25 when I started listening to giving a crap about politics, but it could have been more like 30. But now, there's stuff being pushed on, okay, and I'm not trying to disparage college kids. Not trying to disparage them at all. But they're like 18 to 24 years old. You go to college and you get indoctrinated by these left-wing professors from the get-go. All they know is what they're taught. Depending upon the college they go to, especially. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And like for me, myself, it was at least 25 before I knew shit about politics. Maybe that's because I didn't go to college. Maybe that's because I went to technical school instead. I took some college courses, but it was always about technical stuff. It wasn't about humanities or whatever, you know. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not one to advocate for a higher voting age. I'm just speaking from past experience. And from past experience, I'm not saying that the political discourse, but see, back then you got to realize you only had like 3 major networks. There was no Fox News. Well, at least I don't remember seeing it. It was just all ABC, NBC, CBC. I don't know. I don't remember. There was no MSNBC back then or MSN. I don't remember it because the internet was just starting. You didn't really see the diversity. And I'm not saying they're corrupt back then. I have no way to gauge that. I just know what's happened over the last, I don't know, 10 years. People are being censored. They are. That's my firm belief. And everybody has to realize that you need to keep an open mind and not believe everything you hear. As Trump would say, mainstream media. Now, look, first, I love Trump. I voted for him twice. I voted for him in 2016. I voted for him again in 2020. And in 2016, he was not my first choice. No, he wasn't. And I am ashamed to say that I actually, in the primaries, voted for Mitt Romney. And what a piece of crap he turned out to be. You know, Mormons supposed to be good people. And Mitt, is a smart man, but his eggs are in the wrong basket as far as I'm concerned. So no, I'm actually ashamed of voted for him in the primaries. But Trump won the Republican primaries, and yes, Trump embarrassed me at times. He does like to run his mouth, but I mean, there's been plenty of New Yorkers that have irritated the crap out of me too, you know. So yes, he could be crude. Yes, he could be rude. And yes, he sent some mean tweets. But at the end of the day, he was a hell of a president, and he got fought tooth and nail for everything he did. And I would vote for Donald J. Trump again. Just telling you. Everything he did, it was all right. You know, and you would be surprised. I mean, there's people being in the YouTube thing, I know people from all across the world. You know, Allie's one, Mars, FPV drones, whatever. And they all have very different takes on Donald J. Trump. But then I saw some of the media coverage of him, and it's like, well, no wonder they think he's an asshole. You know, I mean, it's just like, and I'm not saying he could be an asshole. Absolutely, he could be an asshole. But can't we all? I mean, well, I'm never an asshole, but, he's from New York. Look at Carlos. Carlos can definitely be an asshole at times, but then he can be the sweetest guy in the world. You can't look at it like that, you know. So anyway, I'm done with all that. I'm looking forward to November of 2022 when we kind of the pendulum can start swinging back the other way, and there can be some honesty, and some discovery of what's really going on in America. So I don't know. I look forward to it. And you poor bastards in Canada, Rigger, I know you're up there. I hear you, brother. Up there in Canada, you got Justin Trudeau putting down the total lockdown crap and all that. So you should not be afraid of others, Allie. No, and I look, dude, I remember, let's see, I'm trying to remember when I went to Canada. I was 17. So that was, and I remember my brother saying, because I don't know, it was during the Vietnam War or whatever, and my brother bought some land in Canada. He's like, I'm hauling ass to Canada, got some property up there. So when I was 17, so I would have been, I was 17 when I went there. I was not of legal age, but it didn't matter. But I'm like, oh yeah, cool. It's a great country, man. You got freedoms and shit like that. And then Trudeau came in there. And it's all this COVID shit. And it's like, oh my God, he's become a dictator. I mean, literally, he was a dictator. And dude, I was Mark. I was with the the truckers the whole way, man. And I mean, what a far cry from the BLM people versus the truckers, Canadian truckers. Completely different. They burn any shit down. They built little amusement parks for the kids to play in and shit like that. It's just like there's no comparison. There's no comparison. They're just looking for the freedom, and I always thought freedom. And who was it? It was Joan Psyche, and we'll call out Joan Psyche now. Charlie, he lives in New York. And it's like, oh well, I guess that takes Canada out of a place of refuge for me. When did Scotland become independent, by the way? I didn't know there was a recent thing about Scotland's independence. Yeah, I can't. So, am I hearing that Scotland is not independent, and neither? I guess that would mean Ireland isn't independent either. Who is it you want to get out, Allie? Who is the her? So here's the deal. How do you want to be controlled? How much government throttling down on you do you want to have? Okay. You know, and for some people it's different. They might want, okay, well, I want to be taken care of and whatever. But that's a different opinion of somebody who wants to go out, being an entrepreneur, and maybe have a chance of getting rich. Who knows? If they have an original idea. One of my favorite movies of all time, by the way, is Braveheart with Mel Gibson in it. I love that movie, although it's very sad. I want to know who she is. Who is she? The blonde. Oh, I got turned the. What was that? The blonde blob. Well, you know, Allie, over here in the U.S., they always talk about blondes as not having any brains. It's a stereotype, but it seems apropos at this time. Look, here's the problem I see with a lot of these monarchs kind of thing. They just follow the money. It's not necessarily about the will of the people. They're making deals and, you know, deals upon deals that will benefit them. If they can benefit you, you know, that's even better because then they'll try and vote for you next year or 3 years from now or 4 years from now. But in the end, it's all about them. It's just like here in the States. The Congress people, I'll say people, not man, not woman, but I don't know, they get like, I don't know, 165,000 a year. I think it's something like that. All right. So that's not a bad chunk of change. I've certainly never earned that much money. But for some reason, these same people are multimillionaires. Okay. Now, me, if I was getting $185,000 a year, I might make $1 million. But for the most part, I'm gonna have a nice house. That's gonna cost a lot of money. Whatever. But more than likely, you know, making that money just gives me the ability to pay the mortgage payment on this really nice house I bought. Not to continue to increase your nest egg, so to speak. So that's what really disturbs me about all this. Because at least the way the founding fathers of the United States, the way it was supposed to work, you did this as a public service, not as a career. Like Joe Biden, who's been in the Congress for 45, 48 years, I don't know how long, but that's his career. He's a career politician. And that's not the way it's supposed to work. So May 5th, eh? That's cool. That's cool, Allie. You obviously don't like her, so I can only go by your opinion. I don't know who the heck she is, but I thought Scotland had been independent for a while. I didn't know they were still under the tyranny of the UK. I'm not calling the UK tyrannical either. So I'm assuming this woman you hate is what? Is she like the Prime Minister of Scotland or whatever, but just a servant of England? I don't know. I don't know European politics at all. Oh, that sounds pretty cool, Rigger. Um, Look, man. Again, years ago, I mean, there were people that went from the U.S. to Canada to avoid the draft because they Canada recognized that Vietnam was a cluster in the first place. And Canada was seen like a place of refuge to those that wanted freedom and liberty. Well, over the last 6 months, I don't know how long it's been out, how long it's been there, but Justin Trudeau is a real freaking socialist. And he wants control over everything. And some of the crap I've heard him spew out of his mouth is like, oh, we talking about the Nazis and stuff in Ottawa when the trucker drivers were. It's like, who's being a Nazi, you asshole? A regional commissar, huh? That sounds kind of like commissar. That sounds like a socialist thing, actually. What was that song? The commissar is gone. I think it was a YouTube video, actually. By YouTube. Or U2, I should say. Which is a band from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyway, I did my little rant. I didn't cover any material that I wanted to. I just got stirred up about the whole Twitter thing. I think it's cool. Facebook, I hardly ever do Facebook. And so many people are calling it fake book. Because if you put anything out there about COVID and the kind of crap you feel about it, okay, just understand that it's you that's spreading this information, and they'll lock you down and shut you out if you say a damn word about it. When, in other words, it's them. Now, I won't dispute the fact that there are people that are susceptible to it. Then wear your mask. I don't have a problem with that. Wear your mask all you want, but don't try and convict me as some kind of super spreader because I prefer to breathe the fresh air. I'm not going to cough on you. I'm not going to in your face. I'm not going to do that. That's just ridiculous. There are lefties that did that, by the way. But this humanity needs to know that they need to be free. You lock us down. There's some people they're all on board with that. I'm not. So there you go. Rigger, Mark, I'm with you, brother. I feel a tide turning. I don't know how things are going in Canada, but I mean, I watch Rebel News. Rebel News is pretty cool. That's on Rumble, by the way. So if anybody here, let's see. Oh, it shows 5 people here. Go to rumble.com. I'm actually on Rumble, by the way. And a lot of other good people that are there too. It's the Sideways Economy. So you don't have to rely on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that. I'm feeling better about Twitter now that Elon Musk owns it. But no censorship. There's no, I'm not saying you can go on the Rumble and do what some might call hate speech. But Rumble isn't like hard censorship in that unless you're threatening violence to somebody else or whatever, you can put up whatever you want. I mean, there's no banning because you don't trust the vaccine. There's no ban because some other aspect of our government you didn't agree with. And that goes the same for Canada, you know. They're independent. They are away from the Amazon cloud, you know, and a lot of these guys talk about the evil of Google, Amazon, and others where they're tracking all your shit. And Amazon holds a lot of the cloud, as it were. Well, Rumble, and Trump's new place, can't think of the name of it now, but it's a separate cloud. It's not Amazon cloud, it's Rumble cloud. I guess Rumble cloud, but it's all part of Rumble. And Rumble is battling Amazon, not battling, it's an alternative. It's a parallel economy. And I'm sure Twitter might make a move there too. You know, who knows? All I know is it's pretty cool that what was it? It's supposed to be antitrust laws. I mean, I think that was why they broke up years ago. They broke up AT&T because AT&T had all these companies, but they were all tied together, and they could shut you down, and that's why they divided them. You know. Oh, Da Vinci is in the cloud. Yeah, that's the editing stuff. Man, I haven't even tried, Jim. I haven't even tried Da Vinci because the little laptop I'm operating on couldn't handle it, I'm sure. So anyway, I'm not really into all the photo stuff. I can understand why one would be, but where I fly is pretty boring anyway. So I had other optics subjects I wanted to cover, but now I can't remember what they were. So hey, Particle Man. Unfortunately, I can't remember what all those were. And I have food here, and rather than, well, I could do that. Let me see. I just don't know how this would come across. Yeah, it's way slow. That's cool. I mean, it's great to get new tech. And I'm not bashing Amazon, Bezos or whatever. I mean, I love my Amazon. Don't get me wrong, but I just think there's too many people controlling a lot of crap that we may not want them controlling us. That's all I'm saying. What have we got to eat, Cap? All right, so I have some kind of sandwich here. So I think I need to eat that. Ah! Damn, I thought it was going to fall off my lap. All right, so I'm going to end this. Hey, so Allie, Jim, whatever, Mark at Rigor Mortis, dearest, sweetest Allie, and Jim, appreciate y'all being here, as well as Rigor Mortis, which would be Mark. Bob Drone Dave popped in for a minute, but I'm hungry, and so I'm going to eat, and so you don't have to look at me eating. I'm just going to end the broadcast. After a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. Okay.